If you're thinking about starting a fashion brand, you need to pause. Whether you're a wholesaler already having your own boutique, or you've always wanted to start your own fashion line. Because what you don't know yet is exactly what's going to cost you the most. I've worked with brands on every level, and I can tell you this. Most fashion brands don't fail because of bad designs or bad ideas. They fail because they made expensive mistakes they didn't even see coming. Today, I'm going to talk to you about if you really want to have your own fashion brand and you're tired of selling someone else's line with someone else's name on it, and you want to have your own brand, or you always dreamed about designing your fashion line. I'm going to talk to you today about the 5 mistakes you want to avoid to make it or to make that a reality for you. Stay tuned if you want to make sure you avoid all of these mistakes. Point number 1 we're going to go over is thinking of product equals sales. This is a huge one. A lot of designers or aspiring fashion designers feel that your product will sell itself. You have beautiful designs, it's wonderfully made, it has great fabrics, which are all important. But what actually happens is you invest thousands into development, production, photos, and you launch your collection and you hear crickets. This is because no one taught you positioning, demand, or how to make your product desirable to customers. Now, the consequence of this is your money is tied up in inventory that is not moving. What you need to avoid this mistake is a strategy that connects your product to what your customer is ready to buy now. Mistaken point number 2, pricing and margin mistakes. This is a huge one. You do this probably already for wholesalers as well. You pricing your line based on what feels right, okay? Instead of having a strategy. And that's quietly where a lot of brands lose money. You either price too low, and so you can't sustain it and you don't make a profit and your business fails, or you price too high with no perceived value and nothing sells at all. The consequences of this is you're working so hard, but you're not actually making a profit. To avoid this mistake, you need clear pricing structure that supports growth, not just your sales. Okay, point of mistake number 3. No clear brand identity. Now you're probably thinking I've been in business for a couple years. I know who my customer is. I know who I'm selling to. But do you really? Your brand isn't clear if your customer doesn't connect. You might be having a very broad version of who you're talking to, who you're selling to, and you're not niched down enough. And when a customer doesn't connect to you, they don't buy from you. So the consequences of this is having a brand that blends in, gets ignored. You're selling things everybody else is selling. There's nothing that differentiates you from anyone else. And you rely on discounts to move your product instead of just having a great profit line because you're connecting the customers who are buying full price. To avoid this mistake, you need a defined customer and a strong brand positioning and a reason customers want to buy from you. Point number 4, poor visual merchandising. You knew this was coming. It's me. It's the visual merchandising. You know how important it is to me and how important I feel it is having a great fashion brand and retail brand. The 4th mistake is underestimating how your product is presented. If your visuals are off, you know I've said this, your product can look cheap, it can be confusing to customers, and it can be very forgettable. The consequences of poor presentation is low conversion, a high bounce rate on your website, and missed sales every single day. What you need to avoid this mistake is strategic visual merchandising that increases your UPT, ADS, and conversion. And again, if you don't know what UPT, ADS, and conversion are, look to the left or the right and look at this video that talks about all the KPIs, key performance indicators, that you need to have a successful retail business. Okay, our last and final point. Number 5, you don't have a conversion strategy. So this mistake is costly because you're only focusing on traffic, getting people to your online store or getting people through your brick and mortar store. You get people there, but they don't buy. So the consequences of this is you keep spending tons of money on marketing, advertising, spending hours on social media, making posts and reels and videos, and don't get anything in return from it. So what you need to avoid this mistake is a system that turns attention into actual sales. All of these reasons are exactly why many brands feel stuck, overwhelmed, and have inconsistent business. Sometimes they have some business, sometimes they don't, and then end up plateauing when they never scale and grow. It's not that you're not talented, have a great fashion mind, or great fashion sense, or great fashion eye. It's that no one gave you the full blueprint. So if you're serious about having your own fashion brand that actually sells, you need to get inside the Fashion Brand Founder Readiness Masterclass. This masterclass is going to go through both sides of having a fashion brand. My side, which is the retail side, I'm going to break down what you need to focus on first, how to avoid each and every one of these mistakes I just outlined, and how to build a brand that attracts and converts and grows and scales over time. Then you're going to hear from Crystal Lewis, the CEO of Black Unicorn Merchandising, who's going to go over the production side. So you have this great sketch. She's going to tell you what to do with it, how to create an actual collection, how to make a capsule collection, how to design that collection, how to actually get to manufacturers, how to choose your manufacturers, quality control, and so much more. These are also places where people get stuck before you even get to the retail side. You're going to get both sides of how to really have a true and successful business or a fashion brand business from two experts that gives you the entire blueprint. So click the link below if you're serious and secure your spot today. At the end of this masterclass, you will have actually detailed structure and detailed strategy on every aspect of having a successful brand, creating, developing, producing, selling, and marketing. So to avoid every single mistake will save you time, money, and a whole lot of frustration. So click the link below, sign up to the masterclass. It's May 1st. Sign up today and make sure you get your plus in the room so you can have the successful apparel line of your dreams.